Natalie, do you see that it's recording?
I see that it is recording, yes.
Awesome. We are almost at the top of the hour. We have 34 awesome people with us and more to come. It is going to be the best hour of our whole day. I just know it.
I'm going to be back in 30 seconds. I hear my entire family is right in the room next door. I'm just going to have them move.
Okay. Go ahead and put yourself on mute while you yell at them, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
We're at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Naomi Schellen, and I'm your local Heinemann sales rep. And I am also a former teacher and reading recovery teacher and also trainer. And I'm now proudly representing Heinemann. My associate, Natalie Slattery, is checking on her kids in the other room. And there she is. Natalie, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, everybody. My entire family was just in the room right next door, and they were all shouting. So happily shouting. They were having a good time, but everything was echoing up here, so I had to step out for a second. Thank you all for being here today. Hi.
Thank you so much, Natalie. On Monday, we did a session, and I did a quick session on our updates without Natalie, and it felt like I was click without clap. Like I was the peanut butter and jelly sandwich without the peanut butter. It didn't feel right, so I'm just so happy to have her back here with us today. Today, we are really, really excited for this presentation. We're going to be sharing with you Fountas and Pinnell Classroom's Phonics and word study kits. And we're also going to go over digital applications. Now, if you are not using Fountas and Pinnell Classroom's Phonics word study, don't hang up, because you're going to learn a lot of great strategies that you can apply in a remote setting for phonics. And if you're interested in applying phonics and word study by Fountas and Pinnell in the future, this would also be a good opportunity for you to learn about that. I mean, if you're already users, obviously that is the perfect match. Okay, so as you come on, make sure that your video doesn't come up so that it doesn't distract the PowerPoint. Although we do love to see your faces, and we're going to do a lot of great sharing throughout. Okay, so here is our agenda for our hour together. We're doing our introduction now. We're going to look at some basic research principles. We're going to look at an overview of the materials and also the instructional path of Fountas and Pinnell Phonics and Word Study. We're going to do a lot of sharing, and please use your chat box. The more, the better. It's just really fun for us to collaborate with you, because we miss our peeps in person, and this is the next best thing. So let's make it as engaging as possible and as much like in person as we can. We're going to look at online resources. We're also going to be doing a lot of applying in a digital platform. Okay. I will be recording today. I know that some of your colleagues weren't able to attend, so no worries, they will get to have the recording. So on the left, we have Irene Fountas, and on the right, we have Gay Sue Pinnell. They are the authors of this incredible system. They are also the authors of the most famous PD book ever sold by Heinemann, and that is called, who remembers? I wonder if anyone is going to get it in the chat box. I'm sure you remember. It's Guided Reading in 1996. Since then, they have published a lot of other professional books and teacher resources. Their Literacy Continuum is their professional book that provides the framework of everything that is Fountas and Pinnell. In addition to their Literacy Continuum, which again is their comprehensive balanced literacy framework. It's your what to do to apply all of these wonderful balanced strategies. We recommend starting with assessment to inform our instruction. The benchmark assessment system is the best tool for that. It also contains the literacy continuum within that box. But you can also get that literacy continuum on its own, and right now Heinemann is doing a 40% discount with free shipping. So we recommend, if you don't have that, to get it. After we assess to inform our instruction, we want to teach, and we want to comprehensively teach all areas of balanced literacy. Modeling through read aloud and reading mini lessons, phonics, modeling and applying, shared reading, whole group and small group, book clubs and independent reading, for kids to practice on their own, and guided reading to really get them up those text level gradients. And don't forget our wonderful professional learning tools like the Literacy Continuum. Last but not least, for our kids who are below benchmark, we really want to provide good, solid, comprehensive intervention that can be done through the level literacy intervention. And this is an overview of their systems, but we're going to go deeply into phonics today. So without further ado, we'd love to hear a little bit about you. We got to have pre-party with about half of you, but please let us know who is on the call, your name, and your district. We are happy to have people from all over California. We have people all the way up close to the Oregon border in Eureka, and I believe that we have people in San Luis Obispo on this call. So we have half of the state of California on this call. Let's see what we have in the chat box. San Mateo, Foster City, Eureka. We've got CMR, I think that's down south. Mount Diablo. Whoa, that is awesome. San Lorenzo. Ooh, it's going so fast. And by the way, we have a lot of people on the call today, and I am recording this. If for some reason I don't get to all the questions, and if Natalie doesn't notice a question either because they're coming so fast, we promise to read it afterwards and get to any question that we miss. We welcome you on the call and are happy that you joined us today. So the systems of strategic action, and this I have renamed the Wheel of Success. I'm not sure if the authors would like that, but I think that this really is the Wheel of Success, but it is the systems of strategic action officially. And it defines actions because we need not be so obsessed with the student's level that we not remember that it's strategic actions that will move them along and get them to proficiency. Kids need to think within the text, first of all. They need to search for information. They need to monitor, self-correct, solve words, maintain fluency, adjust, and summarize. Once they have those down, and also while they're working on those, they can start working beyond the text, and that's to go deeper into comprehension. Predicting connections, synthesizing, and inferring takes it deeper. Now, the deepest we want to go is thinking about the text, and that is critiquing and analyzing. And this will give them access to the Common Core. Now, today within our phonics word study system, which area of this graphic are we working on? Let's see who gets this. Thinking within, beyond, and about the text. When we're talking about phonics, which one are we going to? See anyone know? Let's see. Oh, Lisa! Lisa is the winner. Good job, Lisa. It is within the text. And within the text will really help us because if kids have word attack skills, then it frees up their brain to attend to deeper areas of comprehension. We really want them to be able to do that. So we need to get phonics down. So here is our balanced literacy classroom, and it includes many different instructional contexts, some for modeling, some for sharing, some for independence, and some for guiding. Today, again, we're working on phonics word study. Many of those activities start in the whole group area: shared reading, interactive read aloud, mini lessons for phonics and reading. And then in smaller groups, we've got guided reading and book clubs and independent reading. All of those help create a comprehensive balanced literacy program and accelerate our readers to the next stages of development. And all of those instructional areas need phonics and word study skills in order to advance them. But today we're going to be working on that on its own. Now, phonics can be found in every area of balanced literacy, every area. We can model phonics strategies through interactive read aloud and shared reading and reading mini lessons. Through guided reading, they can apply phonics strategies, and then through independent reading and book clubs and classroom libraries, they can then also use their phonics skills. So it's embedded within text, but today we're going to look at the explicit out-of-text teaching. So even though we want to embed it in everything we do so they see phonics as part of the reading process, it's very important, we're going to explicitly teach phonics on its own throughout the day as well through a mini lesson. And the mini lesson medium we're choosing today is the Fountas and Pinnell Phonics mini lessons. What are you currently using for phonics instruction right now? And think about what's missing and what's going right for you. Let's see. Foundations. Okay, I've heard a lot of good things about that. Sonde, and some people are using Benchmark. And some people are using bits and pieces of different programs, differentiation, F&P, a lot of great tools. Well, today you're gonna learn tools that you can use within whatever you're using, but if you are using Fountas and Pinnell Phonics, this will help you even more for that system. Thank you so much for everyone being here. So the continuum of literacy learning is connected to the Common Core, and we have a Common Core correlation to our foundational document, the Continuum of Literacy Learning. And within the Common Core, it outlines different areas of phonics that are important. Fountas and Pinnell have taken it even deeper. So let's look at these areas. So the Common Core standards tell us that within phonics, we need to show print concepts, one-to-one correspondence. Within the Fountas and Pinnell 9 areas of learning, they call it early literacy concepts, and then they use acronyms throughout the system. ELC for early literacy concepts, that's one-to-one correspondence, the difference between a letter and a word and a number and a letter and a period. That's print concepts. Even front of the book, back of the book, it's whether it's upside down or right side up, those are print concepts, and that's part of phonics. Next comes phonological awareness, and we use the acronym PA within Fountas and Pinnell for that. Phonological awareness or phonemic awareness is a key predictor of reading success in young readers, and that's that they know how to manipulate the sounds. It's all about the sounds and not the letters within phonological awareness. Can they identify rhyming words? Can they tell you a word that starts with the k sound? Those are examples of phonemic or phonological awareness. Then comes phonics and word recognition. Within that, there are many different areas that they separate out in the Fountas and Pinnell phonics and word study. There's letter knowledge. Do they know their letters? Can they name their letters? There's spelling patterns, which is pretty self-explanatory. Word meaning and vocabulary, and we have a prefix suffix activity for that today. Letter sound relationships. Do they know what sound each letter makes? High frequency words, that makes up like over 90% of what we read, and they need automaticity around high frequency words. And word structure. Then comes fluency, and in fluency we have defined within the Fountas and Pinnell 9 areas of learning, we called it word solving actions. They can quickly solve those words and read them across all instructional contexts. Shared reading, guided reading, independent reading, book clubs. We want them to be fluent readers and also have comprehension, and all this is related. Within the Fountas and Pinnell phonics and word study, there's also this wonderful sing-a-song of poetry. I just love it for bringing in poetry. So here's our 9 areas of learning across the year, and this is within a grade 1 system. So to tell you on the inside front cover of the guide where each lesson falls, whether it's early, middle, or late in the year. And not only that, but they're gonna also give you a master lesson guide, so you know in what order to teach those lessons. You don't want to just open up the book and just teach one page and then the next page. We really want to follow this master lesson sequence so that they can sprinkle the different areas of phonics so that you make sure that you get them all. So you might teach a couple of early literacy concepts within kindergarten, and then you mix it up with phonological awareness. And this really serves as your guide. You can also use the assessment within this to help inform our instruction. Within the Fountas and Pinnell phonics system, they have a comprehensive phonics spelling and word study guide. This is really a pull-out from the Continuum of Literacy Learning, the phonics section of that. And this is a wonderful tool. It's pre-K through 8th grade. So while each system is grade level specific, the phonics guide shows you the continuum for all the grade levels, which is really fantastic. You can see where they should have been and where they will be going in the future grades. This is also available on its own. So if you'd like to cross-check this to help you out, with phonics and make sure that you're getting all the areas of phonics. This little guide on its own is also available for 40% off and free shipping through the rest of the week. The rest of the system components within the phonics kit are the teacher's editions, and they all look like this. Grade 5 and 6 are in development, and they're going to be done in August because a lot of phonics programs end after a 2nd or 3rd grade, but we know that word study is really important in the intermediate grades, so we're going to have it up to 6th grade in the fall. In addition to the book that contains over 100 phonics and word study lessons, we also have these wonderful folders so that if you want to lug something home, you can take something smaller, or you may even put this on your lap during instruction, or you might just want a copy of these lessons. So in here, there's over 100 lessons, and you also have over 100 lesson folders. Some teachers like to put their manipulatives within the folder too, so it's nice to just have an extra copy. Kindergarten through 2nd grade also have a sing a song of poetry, and then this is a wonderful way to extend the phonics activities, and there will be a chart in there to let you know which lesson in the phonics guide matches which poem in the Sing a Song of Poetry. I would also encourage you all to pair it with shared reading, which has a lot of wonderful opportunities for phonemic awareness and phonics practice. There's a box of ready resources with pre-made cardstock phonics manipulatives so that you don't have to fight over that copy machine like we know that we do. And they also have these wonderful alphabet charts for the kids. These are great resources for pocket charts, large pocket charts, and small activities for application. Also, it's nice to know that all these ready resources are also online. So if the district purchases it for you 1 year and then the schools have to purchase and can't on their own these ready resources, if you don't have the funds, you always can go online and get them. So we got you covered. And then there's a picture of what those look like. Let's check out the chat box questions. Oh, good. Okay, I think we're all okay, right?
Yep, we're all good.
Okay, so now we're going to go and look at the lesson structure. It follows a teach, apply, share lesson structure. And a teach, apply, share lesson structure is perfect for a mini lesson format because let's get real, kids can't just sit there and listen to us as we drone on. We want to provide a very quick whole class lesson. It makes it really easy to just bring all the kids together in your whole class area and do a mini lesson to demonstrate to all of them. They apply in small groups or literacy centers or even with partners or even just one-on-one. Some of the application activities can happen right there on the carpet with you, and then you bring them back together for a whole group share. So the whole group area to model, and then apply in small groups or individually, and then bring back together for a share. Another option that I've seen employed by some teachers in Marin County who I met, and I thought that this was really helpful, they told me, you know what, sometimes not all of my group needs the same lesson. Many times they all do, but sometimes I want to differentiate them. So they might do a lesson whole group, a couple of mini lessons whole group, and very quickly, and then have applications in small centers, more than one application center at once, or even do this whole group lesson for part of your class while some of them are applying in a center for another activity. So there's a lot of creative ways to do it, but as you get started, I would recommend to follow this path for now. The whole group mini lesson is about 10 minutes. If you're gonna do it online, we wouldn't go over 5 for that. Online has to go faster. The application activities take about 15 minutes. Online, the application activities can happen with the kids at home. And then the share is about 5 minutes. Again, online would be much quicker, but this is the basic format. We should count on most of these lessons in person to last about a half an hour. Online, probably about 10 minutes. So out of text teaching, the phonics word study lessons are your place to be really, really strategic with phonics, so that then when we apply in text, they know those word attack skills to help them reading, whether it's a guided reading or an independent reading book. They can apply all of those skills. Are there any questions so far, Natalie?
Yeah, there was one question.
Yes, thank you.
So the question was, could you speak about the Fountas and Pinnell philosophy and emphasis placed or not placed on correct letter formation? I noticed that in kindergarten, letter formation instruction falls in the middle and late areas of FMP phonics word study lessons. Is there a reason for that? The other areas of the curriculum do ask students to do writing much earlier than middle or late.
You know what, I'm going to have to get back. That's sort of a little bit of a long question. I'm going to have to get back to you later, but I do know as a former reading recovery teacher that letter formation is really important, and correct letter formation will really help them write more effectively and efficiently. Natalie, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I know that they do concentrate on some letter formation earlier on in the sequence. So it's not that they're totally putting that towards the middle and the end, but I think that that would be something that we would want to dive into the new research base that Fountas and Pinnell put out regarding their phonics and word study to really like give an answer that reflects Fountas and Pinnell's philosophies and teachings.
That's great. And can you write down the teacher's name so that we can get back to her later on? Thank you so much. Okay, now let's look at one of the lessons. And this one is called Understand That Words Are Formed with Letters. And it's the first lesson within the kindergarten system. So it's under Letter Knowledge, or LK1. You can see the lesson name up here, where the area of phonics, the number it is, whether it's early, middle, or late in the year. It's a really great plan, super easy to follow. So I'm blowing it up so that you can see it, because it's hard to see on your end probably. And here's a plan. This helps you consider your students and their needs, how to work with English language learners to make this really accessible for them. This tells you where you need to go with your online resources. And this also tells you this is a generative lesson. This is mixing up letters and putting them back together to form a word. You can do that with many words. Now, we all know that the most important word to get started is your name. So this is with their name for now, okay? So now, this is also a really great area. This is for you to understand the principle. This is some really good professional development for you to understand the principle, but you don't want to say all this big mouthful to the kids. You want to tell them in a very simple explanation. Here's explain the principle to the kids. So this is the kid friendly, and this is for the teachers. And this is where you can refer to in your phonics spelling and word study guide. And again, this little guide is available on its own should you want that. So we are going to now look at the online resources and check out what they have to offer. Now, if you have the phonics spelling and word study system, we want you to know that the lessons are now available online. Your code to register those lessons is the inside front cover of your book. We understand that many of you have your books at school right now and you might feel a little bit lost. Please send your area rep an email and we will connect you with the tech department so you can register those resources. Within the online resources, they include resources for your lessons, reproducibles. There are overview videos to get you started. There's also a demo lesson that you can watch to help you out, and assessment and pictures, cards, and words. It's a wonderful system. And that's what it looks like there when you register, and I'm going to show you in real life, okay? So here's where you go. You're going to go to resources.fountasandpinnell.com, okay? And on the front page, there's a lot of different areas to go to. There's lesson resources that's specific for your lessons. There's general resources. These are general resources that you're going to want to use for many lessons. And then here's your assessment guide. The assessment guide includes assessment for all areas of phonics, okay? This right here, this tab that says all, will have all of these resources. Now, right now I probably have kindergarten through 6th grade here. So you're probably gonna wanna press your grade level to get to the resources you need, okay? So I'm gonna give you more of a walkthrough of this. Right here, this is the Phonics Spelling and Word Study book. So Fountains of Pinnell have put their resources online for this time of remote learning so that you can continue using these resources to teach during this remote time. We don't know what's going to happen in the fall, and so it's really important that we have these now to help you out. So this is what the book looks like, and it is now posted online for you, okay? So let's look at the lesson resources. Within the lesson resources, if you scroll down, you will see resources for every single lesson. The first thing right here are the actions, the action tags of what the kids are gonna do when they are working on application activities. And then whatever reproducible goes along with it. These reproducibles are also in your cardstock box, and on the back of each reproducible it'll say the acronym of where it goes, like PA1, Phonological Awareness 1, then you know what lesson it goes to. Now it could be a general one like the alphabet. You're going to do that a lot of different times for kindergarten, so I'll let you know if it's a general resource too. Okay, so these are all of your different resources that you need for each lesson within your lesson resources. Now, this is one of them. This is an online resource for an activity, and this activity was Phonological Awareness 2. The action tags are say and match. So that's what the kids are doing on their own. They are saying the word and they're matching to the correct sound. So matching words that sound alike. And these are all of the picture cards that go with that lesson. Again, these are also within your reproducible box, your cardstock box of resources. But Natalie, you, in your little lesson, you were able to take a little picture with one of these little guys and put it on Jamboard, right?
Yeah, I was able to screenshot to put these materials into Jamboard, as well as you're going to see in my presentation, I was able to screenshot and put some into my PowerPoint. So you can actually put it in Google Slides, you can put it in Google Meet, you can put it in Jamboard, you can put it in your Zoom session, you can project it. So you can use these digital resources pretty easily online.
That's awesome. You're sort of a genius too. Okay, so now, that's not it. There's also games, and I love these, and I've been playing around with them. The games are also available within the LLI system. So any of you who are also LLI teachers, you're gonna notice that actually I initiated some of my games when I was within LLI. So I'm gonna show you one of them, because I have so many good memories of playing Candyland when I was a kid. And this is a game with that actually you're going to see reproduced in a lot of different activities online. This is for high frequency words, so the kids can play this together, and I'm sure you can find a way to do it online, or Natalie can figure that out, right?
What's cool about the Game Maker too is that they give you this blank template, and then you could input in whatever words you want. You could put in word families, high frequency words, you could put in prefixes and root words, and so they could build words as they move along. And I have heard that people do this online by students having their own little markers, or you give each student a color and then move them along for them so that you can actually play it with kids.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so fun. So Candyland, play it. And one of my best friends, I don't know if I told you this, Natalie, she is a special ed teacher in San Francisco, and she would spend time every week creating like a crossword puzzle with all of the words that she really wanted to teach her kids that week, with the patterns that she was focusing on. So that is the Game Maker. These are your general resources. Within your general resources, you have an unpacking guide, which is a paper unpacking guide that will help you unpack your resources, and then a video to get started. And there's a lot of other great activities in there. There's a sequence of the 9 areas across the year. There's a materials overview. All these picture cards, those are all of your general resources. There's so much in this online tool that anyone who is using currently and who does not have access to these online resources, please reach out. as soon as possible, okay? Last but not least, your assessment guide. And this assessment guide gives you an overview, and then there's an assessment guide for every grade level, and then there's assessment pre and post and a ton more for every area of phonics. So you can really differentiate your teaching. You can teach the lessons that your kids need, or you can even create little groups within your class and teach some to some groups and then have the rest in centers. This will really help you refine your teaching and teach to the needs that you have. Are there any questions?
I was just realizing that I gave Bridget the wrong information. I said that the lesson guides were actually under general resources, but I believe they're under lesson resources. So I was just writing that in the chat box. I got that one wrong. They're under lesson resources.
You know what though? It's okay. All you got to do is search around, because sometimes you just learn more by searching around. It's pretty fun. Okay, so we're going to do this lesson. We're going to be back to this kindergarten lesson, and the actions that the kids are doing, they're going to mix up their letters. They're going to find the right letter. They're going to put it in the right location, and then they're going to check. So let's look. Here it is within the Phonics Spelling and Word Study Guide. So it'll tell you within the lesson plan where you can find it mentioned in the guide. Recognize and talk about the facts that letters can be consonant or vowels, and that they form words. Here are their names, and this one is probably even easier to do online than in person. In person, you would make little envelopes for them with their names and have all their little letters cut up. You're going to model to them with your name. You're going to put it in order. You're going to read it underneath. You know, if I'm going to do Naomi, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, I'm going to put all the letters in my name, and I'm going to read my name, and then I'm going to say, okay, which letter goes first? Okay, N. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to check with my N, and then I'm going to do it until all the letters are in order. And I'm going to cross-check with a model up here, and I'm going to read it, and when I'm done, I'm going to share it with a partner, and we're going to learn about each other's names. It's a great activity, a really, really fun activity. And the way I've seen it modeled is on the rug with all kids doing this together. And then they share, and they share their noticings about their names. They might notice that some of their friends have a similar letters in their name. Okay, so let's look on my Jamboard. Jamboard is a wonderful tool that you will find on Google. And here's my name. It's funny, every time I spell my email address for people and I say N, S-H-E-L-A-N, they always say N as in Nancy. I'm like, no, N as in Naomi. So here's my name. And, oh, I would probably have this mixed up. And so I'm gonna look, okay, what's the first letter? N. Okay, I'm gonna put this. Okay, does that look right? Yes, that looks right. What's the next letter? A. Okay, I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it there. Okay, does that look right? And until it's all in the right place, then I will check it, and I'm going to read it. Naomi, Naomi, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to mix it up again and try again, and then I'm going to do Natalie's. Natalie, wasn't that a fun day when we realized that we both had the same initials? Weird. I know, crazy. Okay, so that is our Jamboard for that. It was so easy.
And okay. I'll explain to you all how to create that Jamboard a little bit later in our session today.
Yeah, and I'm almost done. How many of you guys have used Jamboard? Any of your thoughts? I would love to hear your sharing on this. Now, the final page of the lesson guide also gives you ways that you can extend that lesson across your content areas. It makes it even stronger when phonics is not just on its own, that if you can connect it with interactive read aloud, shared reading, interactive writing, and independent writing. Remember, interactive writing is a wonderful time for them to practice phonics too, because writing is definitely part of phonics. We want them to connect across the context so that they see as phonics as part of that reading process, okay? And here's how you can extend the learning and connect with home. So now we're gonna look at an upper grade lesson, and you know how the front matter works. So we've got, actually to be exact, this is a 3rd grade lesson. This is word structure, okay? And word structure, we've got the same. Consider your students, working with English learners, what you need, explain the principle, and understand the principle. And this is prefixes. Prefixes change the meaning of the root word. So we have a pocket chart. Hopefully you have a pocket chart. If not, you can use tape and just tape it on your whiteboard. And we're going to introduce them, all these root words: make, fill, pack, discuss the definitions, and then again, discuss the definitions with the prefix re, and then have kids share sentences with each other so that we really understand that they know what these words mean and how that prefix changes the meaning. Do you see how this is a little bit different than just phonics? This is deeper. This is word study. Then they play a Candyland game, and this is super fun because when they fall on a spot, they're going to actually tell their partner a sentence with that word. So they read the word and they tell their partner a sentence with that word. This one is already filled out, so you don't have to fill it out with words that have the prefix on it. But should you want to make your own Candyland game, it's also online too.
Naomi, I just wanted to do a quick shout out. We have a lot of people using Jamboard. Sue up in Middletown used it to make a game and put a spinner on her phone to move students forward on the spaces. People are using it for math, for Elkonin boxes, and for cut up sentences. I always do the Elkonin boxes. I always have trouble with that one.
I know. You know, it's named after the creator, Elkonian boxes.
Yeah,
I use those when I was a reading recovery teacher. You have all of these little chips of different colors, and you move them. Like if it's cat, you go ah, so that they can really, you know, differentiate between the sounds that they hear. It really helps them with phonemic awareness, and it really helps them, honestly, with writing more than anything. And just seeing the connection between phonics and writing is really fascinating. That's great, Sue. I'm really glad that you're using this. So here's again how to connect across the learning. We don't want this just to be an isolated activity. We want it all to be connected. Everything is connected, and when you see that, it helps you get the greater meaning behind all this. Then to extend and connect with home. So my husband, this is like pretty funny because remember how impressed you were with my husband, Natalie, when he did this for us? And that was before we learned Jamboard. Jamboard is so much easier. But let's say you guys are really into PowerPoint, how to use PowerPoint to demo this lesson remotely. Now, while you look at this picture, what is this picture? What is it? Whoever gets it, you're going to get a big shout out, okay?
Naomi, at first I thought it was the equal sign that everybody was putting on their cars in San Francisco a couple years ago. You know, the blue with the 2 lines, and then I saw a 3rd line. Pocket chart.
Yay! Who got the pocket chart?
The first one is Ashley Thomas.
Oh, of course Ashley did. Ashley, shout out to you. Thank you for joining today. She just found out about this session literally like an hour ago, and she like jumped on. She's like, I'm there. San Lorenzo is that strong. Awesome. Okay, this is how you can use PowerPoint to demo this lesson remotely. Now, personally, I think Jamboard, I'm already in love with Jamboard, and even though I'm like super scared of technology, I find Jamboard easier than this. But if you want to use PowerPoint, it's pretty fun. Look, here we got make, got a root word make. Read this with me, fill, and then we got pack. Now let's practice with our prefix. Re and make together make remake. And we could do it for refill and repack. And then we can follow up with our wonderful Candyland game with all the other words with re and discuss how they change the meaning and make sentences. Let's look at Jamboard real fast. Okay, well, this makes it so much easier, doesn't it? So we build a word using a prefix and root word. For some reason, I can't move it right now, Natalie. I don't know what I did wrong, but you guys get the hint, right?
It's probably your bandwidth right now.
Okay, yeah, I know.
We have a lot of, we have like 50 people on the call, so that tends to Tends to.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys get the hint, and then Natalie's going to give you a demo of Jamboard in just a second. Okay, and you're also going to show them Seesaw, and I think I planned just perfectly because now we are at 1:39. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share, and you will start. Okay, Natalie?
Okay, great.
Take it away, girl.
All right. Hi, everyone. So let me just take a minute to share my screen and show you this. I had so much fun doing this lesson for you all, and you're going to see my kids had so much fun participating in the lesson. So what we're going to be going over today, of course, is that Fountas and Pinnell Phonics and Word Study, and we're going to be looking at it through the lens of digital platforms. We're going to talk about Seesaw, which is a digital platform that we've been hearing a lot about, and I was really nervous to try it out because it was another new thing, but I did it, and it was super easy, and I am just in love with it. Then we're also going to talk again about our annotate functions in Zoom, because those are extremely helpful for your phonics and word study lessons. We're also going to talk about Google Jamboard. I'm going to show you how to create a Jamboard. It takes about 2 minutes to create. All right, so I wanted to also first say that Naomi and I are not affiliated with Seesaw in any way. This is just a really easy platform that we've been hearing a lot about. And we thought, you know what, let's give it a try. We're hearing about how excellent it is. So let's just see what we can do with Fountas and Pinnell using Seesaw. So we just wanted to let you guys know that beforehand. And this is just a little clip that I took from their website about how Seesaw works. So one of my favorite things about Seesaw is the level of engagement that it creates for our K1, 2, and 3 learners. You are able to record your lessons, you're able to send lessons, you're able to upload work, and then students then on their side are able to view that work and respond to the work. You then can respond to their work. So the accountability piece is just amazing because kids are getting specific feedback on their work from you, their teachers, and parents can see that specific feedback that you're giving to them as well. So it's really connecting everybody in a way that's hard to be connected right now. It's excellent for our K through 5 students. So my advice for Seesaw is, today, for this 10-minute overview, is not going to train you on how to use all the functionalities. The best way for you to learn it is to go on and start exploring. Set up your account. It is free for teachers. It is extremely user-friendly. I spent an hour exploring and set up my class, and I figured out how to make and assign a lesson. Your first lesson is going to take you a little bit longer, but subsequent lessons are going to get easier. So the lesson that you guys are going to see today was the very first lesson that I created. And so again, I set this all up and I taught my first lesson within that first hour. So it's really user-friendly. Now, like I said before, what makes it especially awesome is the student-facing component. They are able to take photos of their work for you to see. They're able to record a response about their work, so they're able to tell you about their work. It's so easy for them to navigate the functionalities, for them to play the directions of what they should be doing, for them to watch the video of you teaching them what they should be doing, to see the lessons and to see the lesson examples. On the teacher-facing side, it's extremely easy for you to record lessons, assign lessons to your students, upload photos, upload videos, and respond to students' work. I think Seesaw should hire me.
No, I want you.
No, just because I'm pitching them so well. Okay, so what you guys are going to be seeing today, you're going to be seeing my 6-year-old son, my kindergarten son, and actually my 4-year-old daughter took part in this lesson as well today. And you're going to see a kindergarten lesson. This is the third WMV lesson, which again is one of those 9 areas that Fountas and Pinnell have identified as necessary for phonics and word study. That's word, meaning, vocabulary. Today you're going to be looking at the idea that a number has a name and that we can read and write the names of numbers. So I just want to zoom in here on the teach that you're going to be seeing. So usually in the classroom, you do the teach with the students at the carpet, and then you send them off to then do the apply. They, of course, try it at the carpet with you and then send off to do the apply. But in Seesaw, you're going to do things a little bit differently. You're going to be recording yourself doing the teach, modeling it, and then students are doing it at home with you or following your recorded lesson. Then you would record a subsequent lesson where you're modeling how to do the apply, and then they can then do that apply. Each of these can be 5 minutes or less. All right, so let's take a look at the Seesaw lesson that I created for you all. And while we're looking at this lesson, I want you to think about, what will you try? And also, most importantly, how is this going to help you with student accountability? That's a piece that I have noticed has really been missing in the conversations that I've been having with people. They're like, how am I keeping kids accountable to the work? And also, how am I keeping them engaged? Especially a wiggly one like my son, who just digital learning is really, really tough for him. It's really tough for him. So you're going to see how accountability and engagement is just super activated in this Seesaw lesson. Okay, so this is what the teacher-facing platform looks like. Here is the activity. Here are the instructions. I recorded myself talking about the instructions to students, so they will then know to play this to listen to what the instructions are, then to watch the video right here on the left, and then also they're going to see the template that you have uploaded them with instructions on what they can do for uploading their work. Again, it sounds complicated, but it's very simple. My son figured it out in 2 minutes. So I'm going to just play a little bit of the instructions, then we'll just watch a snippet of the video.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to have you here today. Today, you are going to get paper and markers, pencil and crayons for the lesson. You're going to watch Miss Natalie teach the lesson. You're going to write the number words while Miss Natalie writes. Then you're going to take a picture of your number words and send it to me.
So I realized that was a 4 instruction lesson that I just laid out there for my students to do. That might be hard for kindergartners, but they can play that over and over and over. They can hear those instructions over and over and over. So you don't need to be constantly repeating yourself like you would in your classroom. So let's take a look.
Yourself too.
Let's take a look at what a little bit of this lesson would look like. I'm going to just show probably about 30 seconds of it. This is all available on our remote resource roundup. So if you want to take this lesson and assign it to your students, you are welcome to do that. So you now have 1 free lesson that's available for you to use.
And by the way, we're going to send you guys a PDF of the Fountas and Pinal Phonics mini lessons, and you'll have 1 sample lesson from each grade level that you can then apply in a digital format if you'd like.
Yes. All right, I'm going to have us go a little bit forward into the lesson, and hopefully this is going to play.
O-N-E. Good job. And you guys are going to be taking a picture of your work and sending it to me after. So make sure that you write along with me. So that's how I write the number 1. Next, let's write the number 2. What letters do you see? T-W-O. Go ahead and write it in the sky. T-W-O. Now write it on your paper. T-W-O. I'm going to hold that up for you guys to see. You can help me check. T-W-O. Does that look good? Excellent.
So again, I'm moving pretty quickly through this lesson, but students can pause it whenever they need to pause it. They can watch it again whenever they need to watch it again. You would want to walk them through ahead of time to let them know that they have those capabilities while they're using the Jamboard, or I'm sorry, the Seesaw. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at my son and my daughter, Roman and Fiona, and they are doing the lesson that I just showed to you. And Fiona is going to get a little bit frustrated, but I thought it was actually perfect for you guys to see what students might be feeling on their end in the case that they can't keep up, and also to exemplify how important it is to walk students through how to do this. So you're going to see Roman and Fiona doing this. I did not explain to them that they can stop and pause and rewind beforehand because I was kind of looking for this reaction, really.
No perfection here. This is reality, right?
Well, I wanted them to get frustrated because I wanted to like see, okay, how does this look on the student side if nobody's explained anything to them? What's that going to look like? So you're going to see what that looks like right now.
And then write it on your paper. T-H-R-E-E. Good job. Okay. No,
She said, no, I just started. So I was moving pretty quickly through that. So Roman was able to keep pace. It was appropriate for a middle kindergartner. He's about on level with where he should be right now, but somebody who might be going a little bit slower, they might have trouble keeping pace. So it's really good to talk to them about rewinding that. So now we're going to look at the student-facing side of this. So this is Roman's work after he has taken a picture of it and sent that to me. I got a little message in my Seesaw account that said, one of your students has responded, so that I know that I could go in and look at his uploaded work and give him specific feedback. So you're going to see now the specific feedback that I give Roman as well as his uploaded work here.
Roman, I see that you wrote your letters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love how you did the shape of your letters straight where they're supposed to be straight and rounded where they're supposed to be rounded. Good job!
Now, usually I would follow that up with a little tip on what to do next. What could he work on next? So obviously we're going to want to encourage Roman to maybe use some lined paper so that his stuff isn't all over the place, because that tends to be how he writes if he doesn't have lined paper. Maybe that's something I want to talk to his parents about. I'll make a note of that to myself.
Maybe I should talk to them.
All right, so let's do some sharing in the chat box. So think about, how is this going to help you with progress monitoring? How is this going to help you with accountability? What do you want to try? And Naomi, have any questions come up along the way while we're taking?
Vivian wanted to tell you that she really appreciated your preview and that she thought your kids are adorable.
Oh, thank you. It's
Maybe
really,
when this opens up, Vivian can go and babysit for you if she thinks.
oh yeah.
Thanks, Vivian. I use Seesaw, but I have not yet to create my own lessons. RG says that. We'd love to hear about your experiences later on. It'd be really fun.
So
yeah, I've sort of been like chatting with a couple of friends of mine during this session. Like, if anyone is interested, you try out a technological tool that helps you with teaching of some of the fountains of Pinel, Lucy Calkins, or any of the materials we represent. We'd love to have you online with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love what from RG, I love what she said, or he said, because there are also hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lessons that other teachers have created on there that you can use for your own teaching. And I love what Ashley said, that creating the lessons is way easier than you might think. I had so much fun creating that lesson and then doing it with my kids. And I'll probably do it again just for creativity and engagement, to try to see what can happen with my kids doing it. All right, so now I'm looking at the apply, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to be then following up with this lesson with the apply. So the apply, for this lesson is students actually creating their own 4-box sheets to make books, to make letter and number books, where they're writing the numbers and then representing the number with the numeral as well as a picture. So you could send this to kids ahead of time, and or follow up by doing a Seesaw activity where you are then modeling this with students. How are you going to do that apply? So again, we send a PDF of a number word and cards to students, you record that lesson. You could also, if your students don't have the capability of doing a PDF, you have them just create their own paper. Explain how they do this, then they have the paper to make that book right there. All they would need is paper and pencil. You also want to send the sheet for making the number books, and also you can send them the number word cards and numbers that are available in your online resources. So here's what they look like. This is the numbers, these are the numbers, and this is that 4-column page. So this is a generative document that you use with multiple different lessons. You can use this for making letter books, you can use this for creating number books, you can use this for all sorts of different things. So then I would follow up with a shared reading. So I'm connecting this across the curriculum. So the shared reading that they recommend is a counting book. But if you don't have the interactive read aloud or the shared reading books from Fountas and Pinnell, you could use any counting book out there. There are tons of counting books on Capstone Interactive that are free as well. So you could use a digital text from that medium. So here's Counting on the Farm. It's a super cute book. So this is a screenshot that I took of the book online, but if you have the shared reading books, you can just read this with them as a follow-up. So let me just check how we're doing on time. So we have about 5 minutes left. I think we're probably gonna go over about 5 minutes. So I just want to respect all of your time and let you know that that might happen. So you're welcome to stay on, but if you need to leave, we understand, and we will send a copy of this session today. All right, so let's take a look at our tools in Zoom. So when you share your screen, you get your annotate tools and functions. When you press on the annotate, and oh, I'm seeing, there it is, okay. When you press on the annotate, you have all of these capabilities of different things that you can do to highlight words, type in words, or even draw in your Zoom session. So what I really like is the draw functionality, and I like to use it to highlight different words, word patterns that I want students to practice. So maybe I'm working on IGH says I. Maybe I'm working on the AW says ah. I can also use the functionality, the text functionality, which is here. In the text functionality, you can type whatever you want. In order to erase, oh, I've lost this always seems to happen when I have this many people on. I've lost my cursor again. So what I'm gonna do is erase, clear all my drawings, and then I'm gonna go to the next slide, and hopefully that will get me to where I need to go. Oh, there's my cursor, it came back.
Yay!
So try out those functionalities within Zoom. They're super fun to use. Spotlight is another great one. It lights up like a little red spotlight, and you can use it like a laser pointer to track the words that you're reading. So now we're going to talk about how to create a Jamboard. So Jamboard is in your Google Drive functionalities. So if you have a Google account, you can use Jamboard. Remember, Google accounts are free, so you can create one and get your own Jamboards. Again, Naomi and I have no affiliation with Google at all. This is just a cool tool that we like using within that Google suite of services. You're going to go to Google Drive. You're going to go to New. You're going to go to More and then select your Jamboard. There's another way to do it as well, which I will show you in a minute. So another way that you can get into Jamboard is you just go up to that drive and scroll down. Jamboard is right here. You click on Jamboard. It's so super easy to use. You can see all of my jams that I have created in here. This one was given to me by Carly Hansler and Wes Contra Costa. She's amazing, and I love that jam that she created. So to create the jam, you just go into it, like I said, and you can use the different tools within it. This little bar that just came up are those little tools. You can use the pen to write things, the eraser to erase things, the select to select different items to move them around. This next one is the sticky note, and the sticky note is awesome because this is where you're building your letters, your word families, as well as your instructions. You can add pictures in. So these are screenshots that I have taken of an LLI lesson, of the pictures that were available in that LLI lesson. And I put those into my jam. And then the last one is, oh my gosh, it was hidden. Does that say laser, Naomi? I can't see. Yeah, it's the laser functionality. So my Zoom has all sorts of information on the bottom, and sometimes I can't see the bottom of my PowerPoint. So it was hidden there, but I found it. Okay, and so that is how you create a Jamboard. You go into it, and if I wanted to add to my Jamboard, let's say I want to put in another sticky note where I'm going to make it, let's say the letter M. I'm going to have them sort by words that end with letter M. So I just go into sticky note, I click on the blue because that would match with my other blues, and I write M, and then save, and then cancel. And now I have my M in there. So then I could screenshot some pictures that end with am, like maybe jam for Jamboard, or ham, or Pam. And then the student could then sort and move those pictures around based on those ending sounds. Again, I tried this out with my 4 and my 5-year-old. They were able to figure it out and do it within 10 seconds. I didn't need to teach them how to do this at all. All right, so there are those amazing tools that you can use. Again, we will be recording this session and we will send this to you. I know I went through those things very quickly. My best advice would be to just go in and try them out on your own, because the best way to learn them is to just go in and start using them.
Wow, Natalie, you just blow me away, girl. You're so awesome. Thank you. That was great. Wasn't that great, everyone? So the goal of this session is to provide you digital applications, but also knowing that phonics helps us create coherence across the context. Phonics is part of everything that we do in reading. It's part of interactive read aloud through modeling, and you can also model through reading mini lessons. Kids can apply their phonics skills that you taught them through independent reading and book clubs. Guided reading and shared reading is also a wonderful way to use those phonics skills. And here are some of our professional resources in case you're interested in studying a little bit more about the Fountas and Pinnell system. So please remember to join the Fountas and Pinnell community by going to www.fountasandpinnell.com, register as a user, and they'll send you updates on all of their materials and all of their free sessions. They also have a Facebook group called Fountas and Pinnell Literacy Learning Group, and they have actual consultants on the line, and they're manning that Facebook page and answering questions. Is a wonderful way to get some free help and to connect with users all across the country. You don't even have to have a Fountas and Pinnell product to register for any of these things. Just want to learn more about literacy. So chat box time. Just share something helpful you learned with us today and let us know what topics you'd like to learn next. Here is our information. You already have my email address. I'm going to send everyone a recorded version, and here's Natalie's. We are just so pleased that you joined us today. We also wanted to remind you about our remote resource roundup. Next week is going to be a biggie, and I think that probably it'll be our last very large week of the school year. We'll probably continue to offer things throughout the summer, but next week is going to be a biggie. We're going to have writer's workshop with an Inspire coach called Erica Reardon. She's going to do digital writing workshop. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do a digital balanced literacy session about how to fit it all in. This remote resource roundup is been lovingly handled by Natalie, who's done a fantastic job, and includes all of our free resources and services that we can offer to you, as well as our sessions. So every Thursday morning, we're going to send out an announcement on our learning sessions for the week. And again, next week is our biggest one for the rest of the school year. But be on the lookout for any summer sessions that we might do. And here's about a bazillion freebies.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I just wanted to express my gratitude for this wonderful community that we have built during this time. Thank you so much. Good job, Natalie.
Good job, Naomi.
I'm going to see in the chat box if there is anything else. Yep, the NS Duo. Thanks, everyone. You guys are so fantastic. And again, if you guys have an idea that you want to share with us, please let us know, okay? Because it would be really fun to get someone on the line. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Monique. It's good to see you again. Bye.